Liking inspired. Fight.
Hello and welcome to Shared Screens Reacts to D23, the panel for Walt Disney Studios, Walt Disney Animated Pictures, Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilms, and 20th Century Fox, kind of. I am your host, LeighErin. I'm joined by Jordan Deeb and
Yo.
Alec Bobco.
Yellow.
Now, I have seen all of these because I have no patience, but the other two haven't. I'm excited to dive in. We got all your information from the D23 panels. What are you guys, most looking forward to here?
Probably the Star Wars and the Marvel stuff, just because we didn't really get much of that. I mean, we got a bunch of Marvel stuff at Comic-Con, and Star Wars stuff, they, as our social vid from the last I think it was from Disney Plus Day last year, they didn't show us anything with Star Wars, so...
And we
Excited
got
for
some
all
stuff
that.
at Star Wars Celebration, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, what are you hoping for? Any projects? Any?
So, I haven't been going in fully blind today. I've been seeing updates when I see them, but not going on my way to find them. And I haven't watched any trailers. So I know there's a Mando trailer. I'm excited to see that because I want to see what's going on over there. Marvel seems like there's more announcements than trailers, but I definitely want to see any trailers they did release.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
Mando's the big one for me.
All right. I have a question for you guys after the Mando trailer.
Ooh. I
Because
did see some
I'm
stuff
confused
about
something.
Ahsoka, so I'm excited. I saw we
Yeah.
got a rumored Ezra Bridger casting, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to Lucasfilms because I have a lot of
Mhm.
questions about that too. We'll talk about that when we get there. I was hoping that by the time we started discussing films would have released their breakdowns of all of the exclusive footage that they showed. They have not yet for the Marvel stuff, but I will share it on the Shared Screens Twitter when they do, because that's always fun to read through. But let's jump in with Walt Disney Studios. The first thing we have is our very first trailer for the live-action Little Mermaid, which is swimming onto the big screen in May 2023, starring Halle Bailey. What?
I said, but chish because swimming out.
Thanks. Starring Halle Berry as Ariel, directed by Rob Marshall. It also, audience have been dying for this live action remake ever since the announcing of Halle Berry. Me too, because she's a delight. Disney, at D23 at the Expo, they were able to see the full musical sequence of Part of Your World, but we did get a trailer. It was also announced that Alan Menken will be writing 4 new songs for this movie. I don't know where those songs are going to go. This movie is an hour and a half. I don't know how we can add more music to it, but I'm interested to see what they come up with.
Now, are these 4 new songs?
Yes.
So it's nothing that would have been on the stage adaptation.
Yeah, because here's the thing too. I don't think the stage adaptation added any songs.
They
I think
did.
They
There's
added
one called She's in
reprises.
Love.
Oh yeah. But beyond that, is there any?
I don't know, because The Little Mermaid was the one Disney Broadway adaptation that did really bad.
Yeah, I did fucking terrible. Which is
it's kind of a joke amongst people that put on that show.
What's hilarious is then Disney tried to do a live taping of the version of the Broadway musical on ABC during COVID, and it also did terrible. Yeah, but so Halle Bailey will also be joined by Daveed Diggs as Sebastian, Jacob Tremblay as Flounder, Awkwafina as Scuttle, and Javier Bardem as King Triton, and of course, the lovely Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. It will release in theaters on May 26, 2023. Are we ready to take a look at the trailer?
Do we not know who's playing Eric?
They just announced it 2 days ago.
Okay.
Let me find his name and while we watch this.
All right, here we go. Get that quality up. Looks really good. Like visual wise.
Out of the sea, wish I could be part of that world.
Alrighty.
I love her so much. I love her so freaking much. She's a delight. But yeah. So yes, Jordan, the guy who is playing Prince Eric, his name, apparently they did announce this back in 2019. It's just none of us know who he is because he's British and has only ever been on like BBC content. His name is Jonah Howard King. And the other thing I want to tell you, Simone Ashley, or otherwise known as Kate Sharma from Bridgerton, is going to be in this movie. I think it's one of her sisters, which means we get to see her.
No. Can I
excited.
can I give you my my prediction?
What?
Remember when Ursula turns into that really hot girl?
Oh, it could be that too, Vanessa.
Yeah. I like that trailer. I'm about to say something I don't think anybody could have predicted, but I think The Little Mermaid's like my favorite, like, of the Disney Renaissance movies. Like, I watched that a lot as a kid. I like have a very like, I just really like that movie. I was in it, like I was in a like junior version of it in high school. Like, I just like it so much. So like, I'm kind of over the Disney live action remakes because I feel like they never quite know what to do. But Alec, like you said, like I went to see The Lion King mainly for the visuals. I'll see this for the visuals and like to enjoy the story.
I think this will be more exciting visuals than The Lion King was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because The Lion King is like, so you know, you should protect the
A
environment and
savanna.
all that, but the savannah's kind of boring to look at.
It's greens and browns. Like,
Yeah. Oh, going to this movie High is gonna be good.
I would die for Halle Berry. I love her so much. Her and her sister are such good singers. I'm so excited to hear her do more.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The water effects look so much better. My big concern about this was that it was going to look like Aquaman, and from what we've seen in this trailer, it looks so much. All the underwater aspects
They got
look
that
a lot
Disney
better.
money.
Yeah. Although I feel like Warner Brothers money should have gotten me a better movie than Aquaman.
Warner Brothers, when they were filming Aquaman, I was like, yeah, you guys should have the budget. Warner Brothers now, I was like, I understand if you make this in a fishbowl.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So yes, the D20, the attending members of D23 were able to see the entire Part of Your World musical number, and it plays almost frame for frame as it does in the original film. But the director said that this was one of the only scenes they did that with, and it was mostly just because it's so iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that was one reason why it's like the Lion, going back to the Lion King like remake or whatever you want to call it. Lion King is one of my favorite Disney movies, and so being a shot for shot pretty much remake of it was cool, but it's like I liked, kind of like the Jungle Book, the Aladdin, like they do some different, some different takes to it.
Have like a new vibe.
You know what upset me about the Lion King one is that because it was like it didn't add anything different, it's like there's no reason to really ever watch it. But like I feel like we could all say the Lion King casting was so fucking good for every role. Like when they announced John Oliver as Zazu once, I'm mad that I'm mad that the movie didn't match up the casting.
Yeah. For reference, Jacob Tremblay, who is voicing Flounder, is the kid from Room. He plays Brie Larson's son.
Seen that.
He's also in other stuff, but
never seen the Room.
I'm so excited for this, partly just because when that orchestral Part of Your World hit, it's the same as when the Mulan trailer came out and the Reflections bridge as the with the orchestra hit, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna cry at this just because of this orchestral cover.
I'm not gonna lie, I almost cried at that trailer.
Yeah, it's just like they play. It's the same thing when Beauty and the Beast came out, and they played this beautiful orchestral version of
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast, and it's just stunning. And it just whenever you take Disney music and put it, especially Alan Menken's Disney music, and put it to a big orchestra, it's just like, ooh.
Yeah. I
some
watched
other
Little
quick-
Mermaid a lot too when I was younger, but that was mostly because my sister, who was 2 years younger than me, watched it all the time. So it was just like that proximity effect.
Yeah.
Before Tangled, The Little Mermaid was my favorite Disney movie and Disney princess. And then Tangled came out and she had to drop down to the second spot, but that's fine. Everything's fine. Flounder will look like a real fish and doesn't really have any animated facial expressions, which I'm a little concerned about, but like we'll see. Just because I feel like him having no facial expressions can go into the Uncanny Valley Polar Express thing real quick.
Not even Uncanny
Yeah.
Valley. It's like at some point your mind's gonna go, this bitch is talking to a fish. Like
Yeah.
not a character that is a fish. It's
Mhm.
just a fish.
It's
Yeah.
just this is like a girl talking to her pet goldfish.
And
like-
it's weird that they're specifically pointing out just Flounder, because is that implying that Sebastian and Scuttle are going to be a little bit more like facially animated?
No, it's just Flounder is in the part of your world scene, and Sebastian and Scuttle aren't.
Okay.
The only other person in the scenes we've seen is Flounder. In what
Okay.
they released, we only see his ass for about 30 seconds. But
Yeah.
in the actual, when they showed the full scene, you saw Flounder's face. But he's the only one there. Yeah. So the next thing we went into was also, this is not the order they released these in at the event. This is just the order I put them in for some bizarre reason. And I started with The Little Mermaid because I had already heard Halle Bailey sing and wanted to start with it.
That was a good start.
That was a very
Thanks.
good start, yeah.
So the next movie we're hopping into is the 15-year in the making sequel to Enchanted called Disenchanted. It has been 15 years since Giselle, Amy Adams, and Robert Patrick Dempsey wed, but Giselle is disillusioned with life in New York City. So they move their growing family to a sleepy suburban community of Monroeville in search of a fairy tale life.
Was Poughkeepsie not
Unfortunately-
available?
Unfortunately, it isn't the quick fix she hopes for. Suburbia has a whole new set of rules, and the local queen bee, Malvina Monroe, played by Maya Rudolph, makes Giselle feel more out of place than ever. Frustrated with her happy ever after, she returns to the magical land of Andalusia for help, accidentally transforming the entire town into a real-life fairy tale and placing her family's future happiness in jeopardy. Now Giselle is in a race against time to reverse the spell and determine what happily ever after truly means for her and her family. And we have a trailer here.
Whoa, why did it jump forward? Okay, here we go.
I know that change can be scary, but it can also be exciting.
If I learned anything from meeting a princess on a billboard, is that sometimes you just have to take a leap.
Let's start our new life. Pretty soon, this whole place will feel like home, you'll see. It's all part of the adventure.
That's not an adventure, that's a landfill.
A land filled with adventure. Hey, Edward!
Robert! Congratulations!
Oh, it's what they call a fixer-upper.
Yes, once your peasants have dug out the moat and added a turret and a balcony from which you can sing. I see it now.
Okay.
Malvina Monroe, I would have sold you this house, but I deal in slightly more upscale homes.
In Andalasia, the hardest part of life is finding your happily ever after. This world's very different.
If this world is not to your liking, then you must change it.
I wish. I wish.
Jumping jelly stick. Wait, how am I talking?
My boy.
I wish for a fairy tale life, and it's all gone terribly wrong.
Or terribly right.
Oh, this year, that's cool.
At the last stroke of 12, nothing will be as it was before.
Stepmother!
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Giselle, what have you done?
That's wicked. Wicked good.
Oh, not in theaters. Interesting.
Yep, just directly to Disney Plus this fall. It looks fun. It looks cute. It looks a lot like what the first movie was, where it's just a very fun, cute little like fairy tale rom-com, and I'm excited. Patrick Dempsey is a great straight man. Amy Adams commits to everything. So like Maya Rudolph is always hilarious. So I'm very excited to see her and Amy Adams together.
She was the one in
looks cute.
was it Grown Ups that I'm thinking of?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Maya Rudolph is in a Grown Up. She's Chris Rock's wife.
Yep.
What an interesting pair.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
It is hilarious.
What an interesting pairing of people.
Weird. It's one of the things where like you could say everything you want about all the Adam Sandler, Happy Madison movies, and everybody kind of goes, Grown Ups 1 is like, you know what, this isn't bad. Like we'll give them this.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard. So yeah, hopping right along, we have our first official trailer for Hocus Pocus 2. It's been 29 years since someone lit the black flame candle and resurrected the 17th century Sanderson sisters, and they are looking for revenge. Now it is up to 3 high school students to stop the ravenous witches from wreaking havoc on Salem before dawn on All Hallows Eve. This movie will also be direct to Disney Plus, starring Sam Richardson, who we have all watched in Ted Lasso as the prince who's Sam Obasanya. He's in it. Doug Jones, another Ted Lasso actor. Hannah Waddingham is in it as a witch. We have Whitney Peak, Belissa Escobedo, Lilia Buckingham, Troy Gutierrez, and Tony Hale. It will premiere exclusively on Disney Plus on Friday, September 30th. So we're only like 3 weeks away. And without further ado, let's take a look at the trailer.
I banish thee from Salem forever.
They were right to fear thee. Magic has a way of uniting. Happy 16th birthday, child.
She looks so hot.
I have a gift for my favorite customers. Legend has it, it's on the 16th birthday that a witch gets her powers.
Lock up your children! Yes, Salem, we're back!
Gilbert, where did you get that candle? We have to get out of here. The witches will be here any second. Ah! The book is alive.
He woke up?
If we intend to live past sunrise, we have to steal their souls.
Whoa, wait, can we talk about this?
No. We must fly!
Not to freak out. The vengeful maniac obsessed with getting revenge on Salem sounds very bad for Salem.
We should get some salt. Why? So we taste better when they eat us?
Oh.
That's not 6 feet under.
Stop! I am a good zombie!
I'm so excited for this movie, man. I'm not even fucking like
Yeah.
it looks campy and cheesy and like they know exactly what they're doing. And I'm so excited. I for some reason Billy yelling, "Wait, I'm a good zombie" is very funny to me. Like I'm excited for Billy to be able to talk. Yeah, I'm really amped for that film to come out. Jordan, how are you feeling? Because you have no nostalgia for this because you didn't watch this movie until you were in your 20s.
You were there the first time I watched it. You were bleaching my
made
hair
you
for
watch it.
Halloween.
I still haven't watched the
2018.
first movie.
Sir, Alec,
Do what
it's
I
so
did.
good. Have a double feature. It's so
Make
good.
an appointment for LeighErin to bleach her hair and just sit there while the bleach settles and watch the movie. That is a true story.
We watched Hocus Pocus on Halloween while I was bleaching Jordan's hair for his Aquaman costume and painting tattoos on it.
It was a costume that came out really good.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
like, it was a delight. A woman was very mean to me about it though, and I did not appreciate it. And then somebody on Bumble bullied Jordan about it, and I also didn't
Wait,
appreciate
who was
that.
mean to you about it?
The chick at the bar was like, "You kind of fried his hair." I was like, "I was bleaching you with store-bought hair bleach. What did you want from me?"
Oh, wasn't the one that was like, "Oh, I'm a hairdresser"?
Yeah, I was like, I literally bought Manic Panic bleach from Hot Topic in the
I told
Poughkeepsie,
you I was just gonna
California.
cut off the like those bottom 2 inches. Like
Different
I was
podcast.
gonna.
We got a lot to cover. We got a lot to
Yeah.
cover.
Yeah.
So
I've been staring at this since you guys switched tabs. What the fuck is this?
So yes, we do not have a trailer for this, but it was also announced that in 2024 we will be getting a prequel to The Lion King titled Mufasa: The Lion King from director Barry Jenkins. He did show a sneak peek, but it was only to D23. I have a little description of it, but the only thing we have publicly is this logo. Oscar-winning filmmaker Barry Jenkins surprised the D23 Expo attendees by debuting the exclusive early look at Mufasa. The film tells the tale of the orphaned Mufasa and how he rose to prominence in the animal kingdom and will be split into 2 time frames. Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen will be returning as Timon and Pumbaa, and they and Rafiki are going to be recalling the story to a new lion cub. And the film will go back and forth from their narrations and conversations in the present to Mufasa's actual origin in the past. John Caning will also be reprising his role from the Jon Favreau 2019 film as Rafiki. But of course, it being Timon and Pumbaa, there could be a lot of sidetracking going on as the 3 narrators try to share their 2 cents on the Great King. It arrives only in theaters in 2024. A brief description of the exclusive footage was shown. It already looks somewhat distinct. Basically everybody that saw it was saying it looked a lot more visually interesting than the 2019 film. Since this is a prequel, the events are set in the past. Following Mufasa do have a sort of hazy look to them. Colors are a bit more distinct, as if it's supposed to be viewed as a memory. Cub Mufasa does once again look adorable, and he has like dark, very regal fur to make him look different than Simba. A short montage also teased how Timon and Pumbaa will have a heavy comedic role throughout the role, as expected, interrupting Rafiki's narration with their own side commentary. So yeah, we're getting this.
I'm in.
I'm interested on why he's an orphaned lion cub, and like I'm excited for a political Lion King movie.
Yeah, wait.
How an ambitious lion's cub rise to power.
If he's orphaned, wouldn't that just make him the king?
No, because what I'm assuming he was, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he was orphaned by poachers because it's a Disney movie. And I would argue that it's orphan lion cubs, like male lion cubs don't get to stay with the pride they were born into. They're chased off to start their own pride, and they try to like take some women with them. My guess is that he's going to come upon the pride, fall in love with what's her face. It's just
Sabini. So
it's not Sabini. Serenzi? Is that her name? It's
That
something like
sounds close. I don't. The mom's name never really stuck with me.
No, because I think they say it once. Sarabi.
Sarab. Yep.
Yeah.
I guess it did stick with me. Never mind.
And like I'm assuming we'll watch him fall in love with Sarabi. My question is, are we going to be seeing a young Scar? Because Scar is his brother. Also, does this now mean that the entire storyline of him being named Garbage by his parents is no longer true? Because Disney published a book in the early 2000s that said that Mufasa's parents named Mufasa, which is Swahili for king, and then their son came out looking all fucked up and didn't really have like a good like.
He didn't have the
coat or
scar
whatever.
yet.
No, that came from a fight. The book covers that too. And so his parents name him the Swahili word for garbage. And then he gets in a fight with another lion about it. Mufasa has to come in and save them. And after that, like the emo teenager he is, he makes everybody call him Scar. So I'm interested to see if that stays in or is retconned.
But was that, I was gonna say, was that book like technically canon, or are they just taking like the Lion King movie?
It's canon because they're talking to, it's Simba telling this story to his daughter who is in the Lion King 2, Simba's Pride.
Yep.
And then
Good
falls
movie.
in love with Scar's. Fantastic movie. When they tweeted out, we're about to get an update on something related to the Lion King, I was like, are they making a live action Simba's Pride? Because I'll go see it.
Don't give me that hope. Don't give me that hope.
Action, Lion King 1.5.
That I care less about. Simba's Pride is such a good movie, Jordan.
It really is. It really is.
So good.
The only, like, this sounds cool, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably gonna see it. But the idea of like, let's make a prequel movie about Mufasa makes me go, really? Also, do you think this one's gonna be based off a Shakespeare story?
I don't know. Simba's Pride is.
Yeah, all of them are, because you have Hamlet, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead, and Romeo and Juliet.
Okay, I would like to point out that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
It's
is
not actually Shakespeare.
Shakespeare did not write Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. That's very important to me that people know that.
Sorry, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
some 16-year-old boy in the middle of nowhere is watching this just to see trailers, not his paper next week, is gonna write about like Shakespeare's lost play. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
You get what I'm saying. So, like, I wonder
yes.
if this is going to be something based off Shakespeare or Shakespeare adjacent.
Realistically, I was trying to go through this with, like, the little bit of the story that they gave us, and there's a part of my brain that feels like it could, in theory, be one of the histories, but I don't know the histories well enough to comment.
Neither do I.
Yeah, no, I don't really think anyone who's not like Shakespeare's part of their job knows the history as well.
The only one I would know remotely is Julius Caesar, because I had to read it in high school, and it's like to an extent.
Is
like,
Julius Caesar a history, or is that a tragedy?
Were the histories not just ones that were based off actual history?
No, there are specific ones that are categorized.
Like, I know
as...
all the Henrys are histories.
Yes, and like all the Richards are histories, but like Antony and Cleopatra, even though that was real, was not a history. Sorry, Alec, I can see you making that face for Jordan and I did not talk about this.
No, I know nothing about Shakespeare, so that's why I'm just like, yeah.
Oh, Julius Caesar is one of the plays that exists between a tragedy and a history. It is not as accurate as his historical plays, but also varies from his tragedies. It's one of about 10 plays that cannot be categorized very clearly. Also included in that Lester Troilus and Cressida, and that play's not good.
I mean, history is pretty tragic.
Yeah, but there's like, it's like the Greek definition of tragedy, where like a certain amount of people have to die. Like, it's like how, to the Greeks, anything that ended with the main couple getting married is a comedy. It doesn't matter if, like, a man gets ripped to pieces on stage. It's still a comedy.
Yeah, to them, comedy just meant happy ending.
Oh, you mean like The Martian?
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. All right. On to our next live-action film. We have... I feel like we've been hearing about this movie for 20 freaking years, but we have Peter and Wendy, which will be releasing exclusively on D23 on Disney Plus sometime during 2023. Peter and Wendy spotlights the iconic characters in a whole new way. Cast members include Alexander Maloney as Peter Pan, Ever Anderson as Wendy, Alyssa Wapanak. I can't do that CHK noise with my throat because I'm a little sick, but as Tiger Lily, and as Captain Hook himself, Jude Law. It was a big day for Jude Law. Jude Law.
That's a great
the film
casting
dives deeper
for
into
Hook.
the film dives deeper into Wendy's story as she joins the boy who refuses to grow up on a magical journey to Neverland, and reveals the history behind Peter Pan's rivalry with one of Disney's most memorable villains. The cast discussed what fans can expect from the new film and revealed an exclusive first look to the D23 audience. Directed by David Lowery and produced by Jim Whittaker, the live-action live-action reimagining of the 1953 animated classic begins streaming on Disney Plus in 2023. Ever Anderson, the titular Wendy, stated that as the title suggests, the film will equally be shared by both of its leads, as opposed to the traditional Peter Pan retelling. Fans will dive deeper into both Peter Pan and Wendy's backstories. Alexander Maloney and Jude Law said that Pan and Hook's lengthy rivalry will be further fleshed out, specifically giving the staple Disney villain unseen perspectives and motives that will attempt to put them on the right side of their history. Law was quick to mention that the film boasts tactical swordplay, which made playing the character even more worthwhile. The exclusive footage shown was brief, but followed the traditional beats of the classic Peter Pan tale. We see the darling siblings getting swept away by Peter Pan in old-timey London. It appears that they get sucked into Neverland through a portal on Big Ben's clock, which is very funny to me for some reason.
That's a choice.
When exploring Neverland, the siblings encounter the Lost Boys, who now feature some young female members, and are quick to note that the Lost Boys title does not exclude girls and truly just means children who were lost. Which, by the way, I point this out anytime this is talked about. In the actual novel Peter Pan, the reason the Lost Boys are all boys is because Lost Boys are babies that fell out of their carriage while out on walks with their mothers or governesses. And there were no girls because girls were too smart to roll out of their carriage. It's literally children that just got left on the street because their mom didn't notice.
Yeah, as a mom, how the fuck do you not notice? Between the baby not being in the stroller, the sound the baby made falling out of the stroller.
Don't you hear the scream it makes when it hits the ground? Like,
also,
what
like,
the hell?
Listen, I get that babies are babies. They're not microscopic. They are roughly yay big, and they just fell out.
And they scream when things hurt them. When things hurt them, they make incredibly loud noises.
They make those soft blankets, though. I'm sure they probably cushioned the landing, so they didn't even know.
So that's weird.
Mom gets home, the dad's like, "Where's the kid?" Oh shit, I don't know. Like, fuck.
That's wild.
But yes, that is real. That is in the novel. David Lowery's version of Neverland is mystical yet still grounded. It looks like it could be a real place hidden away, where extraordinary beings run rampant. The footage eventually puts Wendy face to face with Captain Hook, who does not look that different from Hugh Jackman's version of the character from 2015 with his shiny balding head. We additionally see Hook's pirate crew take flight with a ship that soars high in the air. Peter Pan takes flight with Hook to the skies as the montage wraps up with the boy facing the giant ship head on by himself in the beautiful Neverland sky. David Lowery is bringing a sense of reality and life-inspired history to Peter Pan while keeping the magic of the story.
I'm so happy. I don't know if you guys saw the look on my face when we switched tabs, but like I said that like Little Mermaid, that was like I was talking about like the Disney Renaissance movie. Peter Pan was my shit as a kid. Like I think for my 8th birthday, I went and I made my dad take me and a bunch of my friends to like the 2003 live action Peter Pan. I have no idea if that's good or not. But to 8-year-old me, I was like, I fuck with this.
It really leans on Wendy wanting to fuck Peter, and I don't think the writers realized how weird pushing that part of the story is because they are both literally like 11 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad that they changed the story because originally when this movie got revealed that they were making it, Peter was going to be a villain, and everyone was like, why? I know we all hate J.M. Barrie now, but like, don't do that. There's information that has come out that he may have been diddling the child that inspired Peter Pan rather than just being a father figure that he needed. So, yeah, everybody's kind of like not really down with him anymore.
Good.
Dead authors and being problematic going together like PB&J.
Never look up dead white authors. Never look up dead white authors. You're always going to find something you didn't want to learn.
But remember, if they're dead, they're not making money.
Yeah.
Their estates might be, though.
To the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, stay safe. Don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strange men. If strange men approach you, please. Again, for this, we only have a logo, but we did receive an update on the Haunted Mansion live-action movie being directed by former Disneyland employee Justin Simeon. They were really pushing that he used to work at Disney when he was in college. It's important to me that you all know that he is a grown man who has had a long career of being a writer and director. They did not just go in and go, hey, you work on the Haunted Mansion, come direct a movie. Inspired by the classic theme park attraction at Disneyland, the Haunted Mansion is about a woman and her son who enlist a motley crew of so-called spiritual experts to help rid their home of supernatural squatters. They shared a sneak peek with the film exclusively to the D23 Expo crowd, and then welcomed the queen of scary movies, Jamie Lee Curtis, who made a fantastic entrance riding in on a doom buggy from the ride. She just came in like this in this massive doom.
Good for Jamie Lee.
I love her so much, and she will be playing Madame Leota, the famous fortune teller from both the ride and also the Eddie Murphy movie. The film teased a slew of Easter eggs referencing the historic Disneyland attraction, almost too much to count. Horror veteran is Madame Leota, a psychic medium who visitors see as a floating head within an orb on the Haunted Mansion ride. Justin Simien also played coy with the audience, teasing that none other than Jared Leto will be playing the one and only Hatbox Ghost. Quick little rundown for people who may not know, the Hatbox Ghost was an effect they wanted to put in the ride originally, and they basically just didn't have the tech to make it look right when the ride was being built in the 70s. And in the revamp of the ride, they were able to put it in, and it's one of the last things you see, and it looks really cool. And it's like really well-known character. It will release only in theaters on March 10th, 2023. The exclusive footage revealed that the main character, the mother, will be played by none other than Rosario Dawson, which I'm really excited about because we love Rosario Dawson.
You love Rosario Dawson.
We see Rosario Dawson and her son explore the Haunted Mansion for the first time after buying it for the purpose of remodeling. They are joined by Lakeith Stanfield, who I also love, who is sporting an eccentric hairstyle and wearing a red Thriller-inspired jacket. And then Owen Wilson as a priest. I was in once we got there.
Wow.
Yeah,
this is really Dawson, haunted.
Great. Lakeith Stanfield, fantastic. Owen Wilson as a priest? I'm in. I don't give a shit about the rest of I'm in. Stanfield and Dawson seem to be the two male leads, and there were hints that a romance will develop over time. There's also another casting thing that Jordan's going to scream about when I get there.
Is that Eddie Murphy is going to make an appearance to reference the older?
Well, Wilson plays a more mentor-like role as the one who knows most about exorcising spirits. We see the group discover an ancient seance room from behind a giant painting that acts as a secret door, and chaos ensues as the mansion's many spirits take this as a wake-up call. The rest of the footage included a montage of the supporting cast, including Danny DeVito, character who seems to be somebody who has been studying the Haunted Mansion for years and warns that the main players not to go inside. We see Stanfield and Wilson battling spirits face to face, many of whom are taken straight from the ride, including the Hatbox Ghost, the three hitchhiking ghosts, and the Black Widow Bride. The film is certainly action-packed, but also seems to stick firmly in the family comedy roots. It's a different approach to what many might expect when they hear the Haunted Mansion. However, Lakeith Stanfield and Owen Wilson's characters look like they're having way too much fun together. Which is like my favorite line anyone said. Lakeith Stanfield and Owen Wilson were just having the time of their freaking life filming this.
Fuck yes, Danny DeVito.
And we're not far away from it. Like, I'm assuming we're going to be getting a trailer in the next couple of months, because March, realistically, is not that far.
Probably sometime in October, you'd think.
Yeah.
Halloween time.
Yeah. Give me the spooky vibes. Also, Owen Wilson as a priest. I'm not going to not see this movie. Like,
I want Owen Wilson as a priest in every movie.
Yeah. I love him now since Loki. I'm like, put him in everything. Just let him be. He's a gift.
Yeah.
So the next thing had Rachel Ziegler and Gal Gadot enter to promote, and I will give Alex a second to pull up this logo. I think icon.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Who is the fairest of them all? We have the live-action reimagining of the classic Snow White with Rachel Ziegler in the titular role and Gal Gadot as the evil queen. The film's two stars talked about their roles and shared a very early glimpse at the iconic characters in the film that will premiere sometime in 2024, being directed by Mark Webb, produced by Mark Platt. So I'm willing to bet that Ben Platt's going to roll up in here somewhere. I'm just waiting for the news that he's playing the prince. And features
No, he's playing
new
a high
songs-
schooler again.
And it features new songs by Tony, Grammy, and Oscar-winning songwriters Pasek and Paul, who wrote the musical that Ben Platt's father created to win him a Tony. Sorry, Ben Platt is the worst nepotism baby out there, and it really drives me nuts.
Hey, so his father wrote the show?
No, his father, Mark Platt, works with Pasek and Paul a ton, and he produced them writing and putting up Dear Evan Hansen, and then his
Okay.
son was cast as the main character. He's also the one who pushed them to do the movie adaptation
Where
because
yes.
he wanted him to win an Oscar.
But I don't know why, because I've told you this before, that like I went through like a year or two where I thought that Dear Evan Hansen was like kind of like Hamilton, where it was like written, directed, and starred in by Ben Platt. And you're like, no, Ben Platt just played him.
No, Ben Platt's father is determined to make that kid an EGOT before he passes away, so he's just creating, like, because he's also a producer on The Politician, which is Ben Platt's Netflix show. Like, he's just determined to make his kid an EGOT before he dies. The Snow White presentation was short-lived, but filled with tons of promise. Stars Rachel Ziegler and Gal Gadot surprised the attendees with some fresh details and an exclusive sneak peek. Ziegler shared that the new adaptation will bring the early Disney princess to the modern age and will focus more on the character finding herself and her own agency. This multifaceted story also gives Gal Gadot the chance to go all out in her evil and crazy performance, which is something that the global star is still getting used to. It arrives only in theaters sometime in late 2023 or early 2024. The quick montage revealed Gal Gadot, obviously saying those iconic lines, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all." Ziegler and Gal Gadot's costumes are ripped almost straight from the animated classic. Snow White is being directed by Mark Webb, most well known for 500 Days of Summer and the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man films, which is like, it's not funny. I'm not saying that he's bad because he made the Andrew Garfield films. It's just like not who I would have like guessed.
For
Yeah,
this movie,
it's a weird transition, but I mean, I guess like after Spider-Man 3, Sam Raimi went and did Oz the Great and Powerful, so
true.
There is a pattern here. It's also one of those things, like, I'm just very happy a director with the last name Webb made a Spider-Man movie. Like how Doug Bowser's like the president of Nintendo.
Yeah. The film is evidently more brighter and purposefully saturated than Disney's other live action retellings. It seems like they're really trying to like still kind of make it feel like a cartoon. And like bright, like it's very much a fairy tale. Although little footage was seen, we did get to see Snow White take a bite of the poison apple and faint to the ground, and it was as melodramatic as physically possible. This interpretation seems to be going in a much more campy approach than previous Disney live-action retellings.
Okay.
Which I think can only work in their favor.
That's what I was about to say. I feel like that's actually a benefit, mainly with Snow White, I feel.
Okay, now as we
I was like,
yeah,
real
'cause her
quick.
story's
I was just about to say, like, when you were talking about like how it's gonna more like saturate and all that. It's like, man, seeing that on like an HDR screen, I feel like that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
With all those very saturated colors and whatnot.
And with that, that brings us to the end of the announcements for D23 Walt Disney Studios. Any final thoughts before we jump into the animated studio?
Just a lot of stuff, and it seems like a lot of it's pretty soon, like next year or like early or
Yeah, like within the next 2 years, early 2024. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fun.
Yeah. Okay, the next thing for Walt Disney Animation, I didn't even give Alec a visual because I don't care about this, and we've been hearing about it for 2 years. It's Zootopia Plus. They talked for literally 15 minutes about a show they announced 2 years ago and have talked about at Disney's 2020 Investor Day, at Disney Plus Day last year. They talked about it at Comic-Con this year, and now they're talking about it again.
Oh, jeez.
I don't give a shit about this show. We saw it's coming out on Disney Plus on November 9th. We saw a trailer which heads back to the fast-paced mammal metropolis and dives deeper into some of the supporting characters from the film. They're all releasing at once.
Why are we giving the furries more ammunition?
Because why not? I do have 2 visuals for this next one, which is a project that we have also known about for a little while, but I am very, very excited for. And I do apologize if I pronounce any of these words incorrectly. I tried to look up how they were pronounced, but I couldn't find ones for all of them. I'm going to butcher some names. But coming to Disney Plus in 2023, I think it is pronounced Duwaju. That may not be right. I apologize if it's not. Is an all-new original long-form series created in collaboration with the Pan-African comic book entertainment company, Kuagli. Filmmakers from the comic book company Oifakayo, Ziki Adola, Hamid Ahambrim, and Tolu Olofayaku. I'm definitely not saying those right. I apologize to these men. I think what you're making is great. I just can't pronounce your names, and the internet didn't give me good answers. Who introduced the setting of the series. It is a love letter to Lagos, Nigeria, their home country. They describe the world of the show as a futuristic depiction, a world bursting with color, unique visual elements, and technological advancements inspired by the spirits of Lagos, which physically divided into an island and a mainland separated by both water and socioeconomic status, as we see here in this photo. It is a coming-of-age story introducing Tola, a young heiress from the wealthy island, and her best friend Coley, a self-taught tech expert and a loving son from the mainland. Filmmakers shared these first looks at the new series. I'm really excited. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And Encanto, Coco, all the films that Luca, all the films they've been making with people from these countries where they're basically like, write a love letter to where your family's from, have been all phenomenal. And I love watching, I talked about it with Miss Marvel, like I love watching, and Moon Knight, I love watching people from cultures be able to talk about their own culture. I feel like this is going to be super cute. Like, I love a good coming of age romance story, you know, give it to me. And, you know, I like that they're platforming this comic book company from Africa that hasn't had a lot of Western
publicity,
media attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited. It looks stunning. I have questions about that salamander or whatever type of lizard that thing was, because he was the size of a car. Like
that is a chunky boy.
Yeah, that is a lizard, and I understand that we have technologically advanced, but what did we give the lizard? What did
What's
we give
in the water? What's in the water?
Yeah, like, what did we do to him? But he's adorable. I'm sure he's gonna be fun. This looks like either when they're younger or that may be his little sibling. I'm not 100% sure, but like we have flying cars, we got like drones everywhere. It looks
Well, it's also a
exciting.
series, not a movie, so maybe it jumps around in time.
Yeah, and I'm really excited. So
it might be both of them at younger, because you can kind of see like similarities. Well, I'm just saying you can kind of see similarities to like how they're dressed.
Yeah. Like the purple, like, and the patterning. Yeah. I love his light up fanny pack. I love it so much. I'm very excited for this. I feel like it's gonna be super fun. I love them making projects like this. If Disney just created a studio that this was all they did, I'd be like, cool, this is fine.
Yep.
Like, just keep making these. Like, they're so much fun. So the next feature film announced from Disney Animations will be Strange World. This was the only shot we were given.
Not today, but in the past. I feel like we had.
I feel like I've seen this before as well.
The name Strange World sounds familiar.
Alec, I think this trailer played before Thor: Love and Thunder, because that was the last movie I remember seeing in theaters, and LeighErin hasn't seen that movie yet. So
I have not. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize there was a trailer, because they said that they were given at D23, they were given an all new trailer, and I didn't know there was a trailer. But yes, this is Strange World from director Don Hall and co-screenwriter Key Nguyen. revealed their personal connections to the film about an incredible family who must get past their differences to save a strange world from a day full of dangers and surprises. Now, before I get into the cast, I would just like to say that when this movie comes out, not only will that dog become my entire personality, but the chick sitting on the back of the car, she's about to become my whole ass personality. She looks cool as hell. Like, she looks so cool.
I want to be the blue blob thing.
Good. Audiences at D23 were treated to an all-new trailer from the Disney Animation's 61st feature film before voice cast members Jake Gyllenhaal as Searcher Clade, Dennis Quaid, which is so funny to me, as Jaeger Clade, Jabuki Young White as Ethan Clade, and Lucy Liu as Castilla Mal joined the festivities. Fans also got a glimpse of an action-packed sequence from the film and received an exclusive poster. Produced by Roy Conley, Strange World also features the voices of Gabrielle Union as Muradin. The film premieres in theaters November 23rd, 2022. I read that as November 23rd, 2023, or else I would have realized that there was probably a trailer already. Sorry about that. That is my bad.
Well, it is an old trailer, so there's no new trailer that's out.
Yeah, the new trailer is not out to the public.
All right, we have the next one, which I'm very excited for this. We know nothing about it except this photo. The little goat is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah.
I want him. Wish, set to release in fall 2023 during the studio's 100th year, a film that would only come from Walt Disney Animated Studios. The epic animated musical was inspired by the legacy of films from Disney Studio and asked the question, how did the wishing star, seen in every Disney movie, upon which so many characters wish, came to be? Directors Chris Buck and Fawn... Yeah, because that's true in Disney lore. In every movie in the Renaissance, Peter Pan, like all of them, they all look at the wishing star, and it is the same design across movies. And the idea is that
I guess I never paid that close attention.
Yeah, I feel like Pinocchio's the obvious one because that's like the whole beginning of the movie. But it does make sense. Like with Peter Pan, that's probably the star they follow. With Little Mermaid, I'm sure she's looking up at it at some point. In Aladdin, they definitely show the sky a lot. And then you get into the whole idea of like the Northern Star and that story being somewhere in that region.
After Beauty and the Beast, when they dance in the ballroom and they go out on the balcony, it's behind them in the sky. Like it's like a fun little thing. Director, Chris Buck and Fawn Vera Shunthorne. That is her real last name. Vera Sunthorne. It is exactly how it's spelled. Outline the story, which set in Rosas, a kingdom of wishes where wishes can literally come true. Attendees were introduced to our lead heroine, the 17-year-old Asha, an optimist with a sharp wit who cares endlessly about her community. In a moment of desperation, Asha makes an impassioned plea to the stars, which answered by a cosmic force, a little ball of boundless energy called Star. Together, they face the most formidable foes to save her community and prove that when the will of one courageous human connects with the magic of stars, wondrous things can happen. Disney Animation good luck charm Alan Tudyk. How do you say this man's last name? I always say Tudyk, and that's not right.
Alan Tudyk?
Thank you. I always say Tudyk. That is not how it's pronounced.
I thought you were talking about him, but I'm like,
I literally say it wrong every time, and Jordan always goes, Tudyk?
Tudyk sounds like a starter Pokemon.
No, and I always do that. Where I'm like, this
Tudyk.
man's last name sounds like a Pokemon, but it's not how it's pronounced. Nintendo, if you want to create a Pokemon named Tudyk, call me up. Joined filmmakers on stage to share an animation test for his newest character, Asha's goat, Valentino. They then introduced the voice of Asha, Academy Award winner Ariana DeBois, who brought down the house singing an original song written by Julia Michaels, who is writing all the songs from the movie. DeBois' captivating performance of the song "More Than Us" closed the showcase in signature Disney style. I'm very excited for this movie. It looks cute as hell. I'm probably gonna cry. When they said the line, prove that when the will of one courageous human connects with the magic of stars, wondrous things can happen. I was like, I'm gonna sob watching this movie. It's just gonna be me weeping. But also I'm obsessed with casting this man as a tiny goat. Because like when I saw this picture, I was assuming that goat can't talk. It just looks like one of the Disney sidekicks that can't talk, and then to find out that it's this like 6'3" big grown ass man is very fun to me.
That is hilarious.
See, the fact that it was in clothes made me think it was gonna talk.
It's a little one.
Yeah, it's in a little onesie.
Oh my god. So any final thoughts on what we've had come out from Walt Disney Animated Studios before we jump into Pixar?
No?
That's fine if you
this
don't.
Wish
I
is
just like
really
to check
cool.
in.
Wish is really
Yeah.
the concept
I
is
like
really
the,
cool.
I like the concept of the lore behind the star, but like other than that, it's like okay, this is
I'm
awesome.
excited.
Yeah.
I love it. So yes, jumping over to Pixar Studios, we got a first look. Peter's son.
Here's just a
Oh,
better
sorry.
picture of the.
Oh, that goat's got attitude.
Yeah, it's not a ghost. It's a water.
Goat.
Oh, goat. Oh yeah, the I forgot I include the photo of the the goat because I thought it was funny.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He looks, it's so funny to me. But yeah, so we got our first look at sweet boy Valentino. We got our first look at Elemental, Peter Sohn and Denise Reams' all new feature film releasing on June 16th, 2023 from Pixar Studios. Sohn, who directs the film, shares the personal inspiration behind the film, the story of immigrants pursuing a dream in a beautiful neighborhood where language and cultures come together. Filmmakers introduce the characters in Elementals, which is set in a city where fire, water, land, and air residents all live together. Ember, the woman, the fire woman, is a tough, fiery young woman, and Wade is a fun, sappy, go-with-the-flow guy. That's the one that looks like Osmosis Jones. That's the one that the entire internet was talking about, how he looks like Osmosis Jones.
The internet was either this looks like Osmosis Jones, or if you look at that first reply, that this just gives the vibes of that Cool Math Games website, Fireboy and Water Girl. And Cool Math Games yesterday retweeted this announcement and went, sup.
Yeah. Helping bring them to life are Leah Lewis and Mamadou Athi, who were warmly welcomed to the Hall D23 stage. Audience members got an exclusive look at the film and received a mini poster featuring Ember and Wade. It's going to be a love story about the two of them. And their tagline was that it's a love story where these two can't touch. Like, they physically cannot touch each other. And the poster they released is their two hands like this.
I did
and you
see
can
that.
see his hand starting to drip. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks stupid, but it's gonna make me cry because that's who I am.
It's a Pixar movie too.
Yeah, just looking at the photos, I was like, I don't know what this is. Like, I felt like I could already figure out the plot in my head by looking at it. This turning out to be like a love story, and it being about immigrants, and there's like land and air going to be in this as well. Like, I'm actually a little bit more interested in now.
Yeah. Next, we're coming to the project that I'm the most excited about. This got announced at the Disney Investors Day in 2020.
Yeah.
And I am so excited for this show. It is coming from Disney and Pixar's to Disney Plus. It is called Win or Lose and is directed by Carrie Hobson and Michael Yates. It will be Pixar's first ever long-form television series. The series follows the Pickles, a co-ed middle school softball team, and I love that they're called the Pickles. In the week leading up to their championship game, each episode takes place in that week, highlighting the perspective of a different main character, players, their parents, and the umpire, each in a unique visual style. This is the Pickles and their coach. It looks so cute. Each episode is going to have a slightly unique visual style to it that has to do with whatever characters that week is about. Hobsons and Yates also revealed that Coach Dan will be voiced by Will Forte and shared a shout out of Forte in recording sessions, followed by a special clip for the fans. It is coming, Win or Lose is coming to Disney Plus in fall 2023. One of the episodes we know about is, I don't know which one, but one of the girls is the coach's daughter. And the episode
Okay.
is about like how that affects their father-son or their father-daughter relationship. And I'm so excited. This just looks so cute. And
Will we
like,
get an episode from his perspective as well?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. You're saying the different arts or kind of different art styles. You can kind of see that between the two different pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they released another photo at Disney Plus or the Disney Investors Day in 2020 that I just like could not find a link to, that shows that the episode from one of the players is in like this kind of art animation style. And it's going to deal with a lot of the stuff about like what winning stuff like that means, and like the complicated, like Inside Out kind of goes into this, where like a memory can be both happy and sad. An event can have multiple feelings attached to it. And I'm just very excited. It looks so cute. And like Will Forte as this coach is going to be so freaking funny. I'm so excited. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited for this series. Like I can. Anyway, moving on from being gushing. Just look at them. They're called the pickles. Oh God. With the next announcement of ELO, welcome to the stage was Adrian Molina and producer Mary Alice Drum to showcase the first ever plans for the original feature film from Pixar, ELO. In the story, 11-year-old dreamer ELO is an artistic, creative, and avid indoorsman who finds it hard to fit in. Meanwhile, Mom Olga, who runs a top-secret military project, is working to decode a strange signal from outer space. But it is ELO who makes contact, gets beams into space, and is subsequently mistaken for an intergalactic ambassador for Earth. The voice of smart and super confident Mother Olga is America Ferrera, who is invited to the stage alongside Jonas Kabrib, who lends his voice to ELO. Kabrib revealed to audiences that ELO will release sometime in spring 2024. And this is the only concept art we got for it.
Okay.
And it looks weird, and I love it.
Can you repeat something you said? You said this is Pixar's first something?
No, the first time ever plans. This is the first we've heard about this project.
Okay, okay.
That was Win or
the
Lose
director
that had the first ever Pixar long series.
Yeah.
Yes, Win or Lose is their first long form series.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there's nothing special about this one. It's just like this is
just
the first
another
we've heard of
Pixar
it.
movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
movies are special.
the final, well, yes, it's not just an interview, but like this is the first
Yeah.
we're hearing of it. Like
Yep.
this is the first has been revealed.
Yeah.
And we're going into the final announcement for Pixar and for the entire panel yesterday, which is Inside Out 2 has been announced, and it has been announced that Amy Poehler will be returning to voice Joy. Director Kelly Mann, producer Mark Nielsen, and writer Meg Lefebvre are all hard at work on the all-new adventure inside the head of now teenager Riley, who may or may not be feeling all kinds of new emotions. Inside Out 2, the follow-up to the 2015 Oscar and Golden Globe winning feature film, is slated for release in summer of 2024. And I'm very excited.
I liked Inside Out 1. I only saw it the one time I did. I like that the phrase core memory has kind of just came into our vernacular now. But I'm like, okay. I'm just worried because
ruined me.
Pixar sequels, with the exception of like the Toy Story movies, tend to not be as great.
I mean,
like Finding
it's
Dory
really
and
just
Cars 2.
I mean, Cars 2 is like, yeah, but
What?
No, Cars 2, nobody likes that.
No.
Oh, I thought Cars 3 was the one nobody liked.
No, nobody
No,
liked
that-
Cars 2. They liked Cars 3.
Oh.
The
I
Incredibles
thought
2
Finding
was
Dory
good,
was
but
good.
it wasn't.
My bone to pick with Incredibles 2 is that it almost made me vomit in Jordan's lap. All of the hypnotic spinning thing, I was like, I'm gonna be sick. Like I
It was
can't
a good
watch
movie,
this.
but it wasn't as good as the first one.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
The only thing that I'm gonna like about this is that it's gonna be like a kid's version of Big Mouth. Because they're like, she's going through puberty and we're gonna get to hear like the different emotions in her head.
Yes, and there is a rumor that Mindy Kaling and Bill Hader are not returning. Some people are saying that it's because they didn't want to. Other people who are claiming to be insiders are saying it's because fear and envy have developed into more
Like into a different
complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, like more complex
Gotcha.
that like a 12-year-old has less complex feelings than a 16-year-old girl, which as somebody who was a 16-year-old girl is very true. Being a
She
16-year-old
12 in
girl-
the first movie?
Yeah.
I thought she was younger.
No, she's in middle school.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why her parents think the move won't be terrible for her, is because she was like going to be going into a new school anyway, but she still would have had like a bunch of friends before they moved, like from her
Yeah.
elementary school. So she's like, yeah, like 11, 12. I'm very excited. I really hope they keep her being really interested in hockey, just because that's not something we really get to see with female characters very often, and
Yeah.
I love hockey. But you guys ready to jump into Lucasfilms?
Oh,
Yeah.
come on, let's go.
Let's go. Let's ride. Let's ride. The very first thing that we saw was Andor. Would you guys like to hear about it or watch the trailer first?
I thought let's watch this trailer and we can talk.
Yeah.
Okay, let's watch the trailer.
Alrighty. Switching scenes real quick. Get the nice quality going.
Spies. Saboteurs. Assassins. We've all done terrible things on behalf of the rebellion.
Cassian Andor. Don't matter what you tell me or tell yourself. You'll ultimately die fighting these bastards. Wouldn't you rather give it all at once to something real?
Yes.
We've chosen a side. We're fighting against the dark.
There is an organized rebel effort. Drill down and get a hunt started.
You realize what you set in motion? People will suffer.
Time has come to force their hand.
At what cost?
Everything! Every day we wait.
Going back to Coruscant, I like it.
Let's take them by surprise.
For the greater good. Call it what you will. Let's call it war.
I love him.
Are standing up. They're afraid. Right now, they're afraid.
Star Wars Andor 3-episode premiere streaming September 21st.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, so that was the trailer that we got for Andor today. I'm very excited. So they did confirm today that I'm muted. I'm very excited. This was the trailer that we got today, and we also got the reveal that Andor season 2 is in the works, but it will only be 2 seasons. There will not be a third season. The first season is 12 episodes. It's going to be a 24 episode thing. That's it. It's just 24 episodes. The first season will cover 5 years leading up to Rogue One, and the second season will cover 1 year leading up to when we catch up with Cassian in Rogue One. All of the early reviews are saying that it is absolutely fire, that the first 3 episodes, because reviewers have been starting to see them for press since this comes out in 2 weeks, are saying that it's absolutely fire. I don't know about you guys. I have a feeling this will be my favorite Star Wars project because I am a sucker for a good rebellion. Like, that is my favorite part. The rebellion is my favorite part of Star Wars.
But the big thing, I think we've talked about this on This Is the Waypoint. And like, just maybe this might have been offline or just on Twitter or whatever, but this is one of the first projects that they haven't used the volume for. A lot of the stuff is practical.
They did
so that's why it
everything
looks so good.
Yeah,
They actually
did
went
everything
to Coruscant.
Yes.
Yes. So we have a couple of different things that we've been introduced to here. The second season has already started production. They're just doing their final preparations before they begin filming the second season. It is a 24 episode spy thriller that Diego Luna, or sexy Andor, has said that it feels like a film, like it feels like a 24-hour film, which is super exciting. They did release new character posters for all of our lovely characters. Kyle Solar, who is playing the bad guy in this said that his character is someone you will learn to love to hate. I don't
Okay.
know how to take that.
Yeah.
We also will be introduced to Adria Orjona's Bit, who has an on-again, off-again complicated relationship with Cassian Andor. However, a lot of people they clarify that that does not necessarily mean it's romantic, and no one knew how to take that.
Fun.
That was just a very weird thing to say, that everybody was like, cool. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, and we do get to see that the troopers that we will see in Andor are this weird mix of like clone troopers and
Yep.
Stormtroopers.
Because there was a
Stormtroopers, yeah.
shot
Thank you.
that looked like it was back at Camino.
Yeah.
Because they're walking through the
Oh
halls.
yeah, I know
and
that. Yeah, I know the shot
Although-
you're talking about.
Mhm. Although now that I'm thinking about it, like going, because this will take place like after Bad Batch, and it spoilers for Bad Batch real quick, but it's like if you've seen Bad Batch, you know.
Yeah. And you gave me a beautiful segue because I'm just checking to make sure I don't have any other Andor things I need to bring up, and then we're gonna jump right into some Bad Batch talk.
I need to rewatch Rogue One.
Well, good
I
thing
watch Rogue
because
One once a year 'cause
we're getting ready to record a Rogue One rewatch in preparation for Andor, so it's gonna be on This Is the Waypoint coming soon.
Perfect.
also just watch Rogue One all the time. It's a phenomenal
Yes,
movie.
it's so
It's just
good.
The
so
best
good.
Disney era Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it is so
Yeah.
good. It's so good. Yeah. Min Mothma is going to be a really big character, talking about the focusing on the dark shadows of politics while building a rebellion. I'm really excited to see her and Forrest
The
Whitaker.
Galactic Empire Senate, like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so cool. Like,
Yeah, I like how
that's-
they're also acknowledging that like this is war. Like this isn't just I don't like and it's kind of going to show like the. I understand why somebody, even though they dislike their government as much as they do, like going into war is not an easy decision to make.
And Star Wars, not the issue, but the problem the rebels have a lot, and the problem rebellions in the real world have, is they don't want to kill their civilians.
Yep.
Because like they like their civilians. They don't want to off them, and sometimes it's just like, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but sometimes it's unavoidable when you're overthrowing a tyrannical government.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. So the next thing is Bad Batch. Was nothing really exciting about Bad Batch. They just showed us one screenshot of the squad that I think had already been released and told us that season 2 is 16 episodes long with a 2-episode premiere on January 14th, 2023. So we should be getting a trailer soon.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first season of Bad Batch, because it's that, like, people just don't give the animated Star Wars shows enough credit. Clone Wars, yeah, has a lot of filler, but the good episodes are really good. Rebels is amazing. Bad Batch was awesome. It had some slower spots, but the parts that were amazing were really good. Star Wars.
I have not finished Rebels because I am so deeply attached to the characters, and I know how it ends, and I don't want to watch a certain character bite it. And the next episode I have is the episode that he dies, and he is my, I think, favorite character that has been created for Star Wars. I love him. I love Kanan. So, spoiler alert for Rebels, but it came out years ago. I love Kanan Jarrus so much.
Yes.
I don't want him being blinded.
Oh.
Ruined my day. I don't want to watch him die.
Yep. Oh,
I don't want
it's a
it.
heart. It'll tear your heart out. I'm just giving you that warning now.
Ooh, especially because I also love Hera, and it was spoiled for me that she is pregnant, and I'm like, no, like, stop. I love Mom and Dad. I
Oh,
don't
just
really
you
give
wait.
a shit about anyone
Just
else
you
in that
aren't
show.
prepared for that scene. I'm just gonna tell you that now.
I don't want it. I don't want it. And so I just haven't finished the show. I have 4 episodes left, and I just refuse to watch them. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. If I don't watch it, he's not dead. It's fine. Now we get the announcement that I was the most excited for, because this looks sick, which is a never before announced Tales of the Jedi 6-episode short animated show that will release all at once October 26th. I have a few more fun facts, but let's watch the trailer first.
Yeah.
Everywhere there is life, but you must face death. Honor it. Do not fear it.
Ahsoka.
Jedi. Ahsoka is Jedi.
Yes. Give me it.
I'm so excited for this.
The best way I can protect you is to teach you how to protect yourself.
Oh, we're getting the Clone War animation style too.
I want to
Awesome.
bring peace and order to the galaxy.
That line for some reason makes me want to kill myself.
It is the only way you will truly have victory, my Padawan.
Again. Again.
Dooku, stand down.
Oh, we're so close.
I'm tired of fighting.
I've been warning them about the coming darkness. Let's hope all that training pays off.
We got Yaddle.
Yaddle.
Fucking
Yaddle.
showing up, and I'm so excited.
And who might you be?
Oh, that animation. Oh. That was sick.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this. So, yes,
Oh, that
there will
was
be
awesome.
6 shorts. 3 will focus on Ahsoka, while 3 focus on Dooku, and we will be getting a young Qui-Gon Jinn throughout it. We will also be
Yeah,
getting
we
Yaddle,
will.
as we saw, which is very funny to me. And obviously, it is a young Dooku. And it's going to fill in some of the gaps that we need about Ahsoka and Dooku going into Ahsoka when it comes out. Jordan, why do you look confused?
No, I was just gonna say the Dooku episodes are the ones that interest me because like I've yet to get to dive into like the animated Star Wars stuff. I know it's
need
really
to.
good. I am just waiting for like a time where I can kind of watch all 3.
Ahsoka's coming. You need to get
You
'cause
need to
Clone
watch
War-
Clone Wars ASAP. And also,
'Cause-
I'm going to say it, watch Barrett's Weird Machete Way. That's the only way to watch it. Episodes
Yeah.
of Clone Wars are brutal to get through. The
Oh
filler
yeah, believe me.
episodes
I
are
watched it
brutal.
start to finish, and that was a long process. But man, once I got to
couldn't-
Rebels, I finished Rebels like that.
Yeah. I couldn't get through Clone War. I tried and couldn't get through it until Jordan gave me Barrett's Machete version. And then once I started doing that, I was like, this show is phenomenal. I'm obsessed. But, ooh, the filler
When it's
episodes
good,
are
it's good.
brutal.
But yes.
And Rebels is phenomenal.
We've been telling everybody at Shared Screens that has watched Rebels has been telling you to watch Rebels. So I don't know what your problem is, people out there. I'm talking to you. Watch
I thought you were
Rebels
talking to
because
Jordan.
So did I.
I mean, you're out there. So I'm just saying, Rebels is so good. Rebels is legitimately one of my favorite pieces of Star Wars. Like,
Oh, it's really
media,
good.
like-
It's really good. Again, Kanan Jarrus, my sweet, sweet man. However, Dave Filoni naming his character that he wanted to be the epitome of good motherhood, Hera, is always like, tell me you don't know Greek mythology without telling me you don't know Greek mythology. That girl
Yeah.
pitched her son off a mountain. Like,
Maybe he's trying to like trick people. They're like, oh, she's gonna be a bad mom.
no, she's like the ultimate mom. She's great.
yeah,
Um,
she is the mom to the Rebels crew.
Yeah, it truly is mom and dad are fighting.
Yep.
We didn't get any new Ahsoka footage. They did announce that it is still filming. And Dave Filoni is very excited. Jon Favreau said this is like his magnum opus, which is
Yes.
interesting.
Because Ahsoka is basically the sequel series to Rebels.
Yes. We got what people are calling a first look at Sabine in Ahsoka, but it's her from behind.
Yep. I think I
So,
saw
like,
the
it's
picture on
not.
Twitter that you're talking about.
Yeah. I wouldn't really call it a first look because you can't see anything.
No.
Like, but yes, they're all very excited for Ahsoka. We will be getting characters from Rebels in it. Apparently the lightsaber fights are gonna be sick as fuck. And yeah, we're real excited. Many of the crew working on Ahsoka grew up watching Clone Wars, according to Dave Filoni. And he's wanted to bring her to live action ever since Clone Wars, and they did use Mandalorian to test if there would be any interest in it.
There was.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's kind of our Jedi, our Tales of the Jedi Ahsoka kind of info that we got today. It wasn't a lot for Ahsoka. I think it's just because they're still filming and like they don't really have everything yet. So then we got a quick little Mando.
Yeah. All right. You guys ready for this trailer?
Oh yeah.
I am.
Alrighty.
This is the one that you saved? You are as its father. A clan of two. But you have removed your helmet. Then you are a Mandalorian no more.
My sweet boy.
Your cult fractured our people. Where were you then?
Going back to
Did you think your
Mandalore.
dad was the only Mandalorian?
Abu!
All right, kid. Hang on. You ready for an adventure?
Look at him with this little chainmail that Dad made him.
Oh,
Dad.
They're going so hard with that score. 2023? Just 2023, no date?
Yeah, no, we don't have a date yet. We just have 2023. And we do know that what's face from Breaking Bad is gonna be in it.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Thank you. He's gonna be in it, and according to
Moff
him,
Gideon.
you haven't seen Moff be vulnerable before. Only you can supply yourself with the patience to find out what comes next, which is a very interesting way to sell your character's plotline.
Oh, he loves talking like that.
Oh yeah, no, he's a weird guy. He's a lot like Werner Herzog in the way he speaks. It's apparently bananas. Everybody is amped. We got Big Bo Katan coming back. Carl Weathers is coming back. Baba Farouk is there, which is exciting.
The best part of Rise of Skywalker.
Farouk. And then we got our final piece of Star Wars information, which was an exclusive first look at the cast of Skeleton Crew, John Watts' coming of age Star Wars movie.
That man has already came of age.
That's Jude Law. He's like their little captain. That's all children behind him. That's all teenagers behind him. This was just the only thing they gave us on this. Is that Jon Favreau and John Watts came up with the idea for Skeleton Crew while working on it on set of the Spider-Man films. And yeah, it's going to be a very fun John Hughes-esque coming of age Star Wars film with a bunch of teenagers and Jude Law, and I'm real fucking excited because that sounds weird.
I want Star Wars to like separate themselves from Jedi, or if not Jedi, just like the Skywalkers, that era. So like this is cool, especially if like it looks like they're space pirates.
No one knows. We don't know what coming of age. We don't know what Jude Law's relationship to these children are.
Let's say
I'm looking it up. Go ahead.
I think there have been, I can't remember if it was Clone Wars or Rebels, but I think there was an episode where they met like, or they had like met like a crew of, or of a ship that was basically like kids, teenagers. So I don't know if this is kind of loosely based off of that. But yeah.
It's set after Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Will center around a group of children lost in space on a journey trying to find their way home. It stars 4 children, but is not a children's show. Also, Jude Law's there in an undisclosed role. And it will be released sometime on in 2023 on Disney Plus. It also was announced under the code name Grammar Radio, Rodeo, which I also have a lot of questions about.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was our final Star Wars thing from D23, and there was, and I have just an image for Indiana Jones. There was an exclusive first look.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford cried. We're getting Indiana Jones 5.
I didn't think that man would have cared that much.
Yeah, no, he cried on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then there was the picture that's been going around Twitter today of Harrison Ford and what's his name? I am completely blanking on it, but
it's the little kid from Temple of Doom, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's in Ki Hoi Kwan.
Yes, because he did that movie at Temple of Doom, and they didn't do anything till Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Great movie, by the way.
So yeah, that's really all we got for Indiana Jones is.
Mm-hmm. I'm in. Give me more Indy. I love those movies. Like Last Crusade is one of my favorite movies of all time.
He also cried saying that this is officially the last Indiana Jones movie because he is too old to do another one.
Yeah.
I think he fears he may die if he does another.
I mean, realistically, I think he should be afraid of dying in another like plane crash. Like someone needs to take away his pilot license.
That too.
Yeah.
It also dying early might have to do with the copious amounts of cocaine he did. Like, man has not treated his body that well. Also, he included the trailer for Willow. We don't have to watch it. I don't know if you two have ever seen the original Willow.
No, I'm not even quite sure what Willow is. I know it's something that Lucasfilm is making. I don't know more than that.
It was a fantasy movie from the 80s that was made by Lucasfilms. And they're making a sequel for Disney Plus. And like it's a cool
we got
trailer,
it. Might as well
like,
at least watch
yeah.
it. We got it here. Okay.
There is a story of a child destined to be an empress, and the unlikely hero who would protect her.
There is a balance between all things. Light and shadow. Good and evil. When that balance is upset, the universe corrects.
The world needs you again. It needs your magic.
Into the unknown. That's where we must go.
Oh, that's cool. That was cool.
You're muted.
I am?
No.
No, I am.
LeighErin
Sorry.
isn't.
I was typing, so I muted myself so that you guys wouldn't hear the clicking.
Gotcha.
I will say I did misspeak. It's not a film that's releasing on November 30th. It is a series, which serves as a sequel to the film of the same name. As we saw, Warwick Davis plays a Newland dwarf sorcerer known as the titular Willow. It follows this party of really great warrior women and like princesses, and then the men that are assisting them. It's going to have a 2-episode premiere. All of the executive producers, Ron Howard, Brian Glazer, Kathleen Kennedy, they're all back after working on the first one. It was shot in Wales. Of course, we saw Erin Kellyman, who was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, is going to be in this as Jade, a knight in training, and Kit, who is the titular princess, best friend, joining her on the quest to protect her. Yeah. Flash from...
I was just going to say, I thought I saw him in there.
That's
Tony
him.
Revolori's in it. And I'm really excited for it. Like, I'm going to watch the original movie this weekend, I think, because, like, I kind of got the vibe from this that I got when I watched the trailer for the D&D movie, where, like, it just sounds like a fun fantasy, like, romp.
Yep.
Yeah, it actually did pique my interest a bit. I think I might give this I'll, like, look into it and be like, eh.
Because the movie's on Disney Plus and it's not long. Because
I forgot,
came
like,
out in the 80s.
Yeah, in the 80s, movies were, like, hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really, that fish thing looked super cool. It looked like a little, like, I kind of wanted it. It looked very precious. Like, I'm excited. It looks fun. It looks weird. The original movie, I mean, it won 2 Academy Awards. Like, and it was the original was directed by Ron Howard, which is, like,
okay,
not nothing. Like, he's great.
Right, yeah.
Val Kilmer's in the original, too, as a knight. Who's supposed to be protecting Willow. Yeah.
And Warwick Davis is always a delight.
Yeah, he's great.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's Willow. And that's all of our stuff for Lucasfilms. So we're going to dive right on into Marvel.
Let's fucking go.
We started with Black Panther Forever. Which is always a delightful time. Ryan Coogler showed some exclusive footage that we were not made privy to, and like I said, the Discussing Films article isn't out yet. But some of the things that we have seen included Queen Ramonda snapping at UN leaders, including actor Richard Skiff, who I love, and a French leader concerned about vibranium WMDs and vibranium not setting off metal detectors. The film will focus on the rest of the world trying to capitalize on getting Wakanda's resources while they're at their weakest after the death of their king. The exclusive footage included a lot of Namor action, including him fighting M'Baku, and apparently it's a really sick fight. So that's what we got for Wakanda Forever. We also just got like a quick little update on Ironheart, nothing super exciting, but that it will explore the battle between magic and tech. Anthony Ramos from In the Heights is confirmed to be playing the Hood, but teases he is not quite the evil character he's in the comics. It seems he may have a good heart, but ends up taking a deep dive into a dark place. And like, I have questions about what causes that deep dive.
I feel like this only confirms Doctor Doom even more.
I have a feeling that leak is true.
Yeah, especially when you said tech versus magic.
Yeah, I think you guys have told me about that one before we recorded something.
The current rumor / but we don't know if the leak is true, so it's like a rumor. Is that the trip that like Riri is on in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is like being funded by Victor Von Doom.
And that the post-credit scene is basically like the Thanos, I'll do it myself, of Doom having to go down to the site because what he wanted from Namor gets all fucked up because of the events of the film.
Gotcha.
The series is currently being shot, and people say that are working on it right now are saying that it looks great, and they're really excited for it to come out. We're not really sure when that will be, but we also got a quick update on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and that it directly links into Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. Paul Rudd says that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is unlike anything we've seen from the Ant-Man and the Wasp franchise. Says it's huge, and that Majors is incredible and throws the entire story into new territory and to new stakes. In the clip shown exclusively for D23, we see that Scott Lang will have to do a heist in the quantum realm for Kang after Kang has kidnapped Cassidy and is threatening to kill her unless Scott does what he says.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. And then we got the thing that is the most confusing for me, which is this trailer for Werewolf by Night. And I'm not going to say anything. We should just dive on in.
Yep. On it. Okay.
This Halloween, you can't escape the shock, the terror of Werewolf by Night.
Tonight, it is every hunter for themselves.
Good luck. I'll be rotting for you.
One of you is a monster, masquerading as one of our own. I can't wait to find out what breed of evil you are.
So, Among Us, but MCU?
You wanna see this, darling?
Please don't do this. Death is coming for you!
Werewolf by Night.
Oh, it's soon, too. Okay.
So
I'm
yes, as you can, I'm so excited. As you can probably tell from that trailer, this is inspired by the 30s and 40s monster horror movies, mostly that came out of Universal, like the traditional Wolfman, Frankenstein, all of those. Gael Garcia Bernal is playing the titular werewolf, and we have Laura Donnelly as our hero. It looks really freaking weird. We got our first look at Maneater, which I did not enjoy. I don't know what I expected him to look like, but that was not it. And I am scared. But yeah, I'm really excited. It looks weird. Or sorry, not Maneater, Man-Thing. That's what it's called.
It looked really cool. Like, I wonder if this is ever gonna actually play into the MCU at all, or if this is just like a cool project Marvel is doing.
I'm assuming at this point, no.
I'm assuming it's the latter, just because, like,
the
they
guy
had that
passed
whole
away.
Well, that I didn't know that, but I was just saying, just like that whole special presentation kind of like vibe they were giving it.
Yeah.
Be cool for them to do more stuff like that.
Oh wait, Jordan, you and I are being dumb. Gael Garcia Bernal isn't the man we think he is.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
It's the guy from Mozart in the Jungle. He's still alive. We could see him later on. Sorry, Alec. Originally, there was a rumor that the guy in the robe who likes to joust in Moon Knight, I don't remember that character's name, that he was cast as the werewolf, and then he passed, and so everybody thought that like the project was dead, but they never.
Gotcha.
And I confused myself. And when that happens, I usually bring Jordan down with me by accident.
It's true.
Yeah, so the next little link I have is just the logo, which isn't like super exciting for Werewolf by Night. Like, it's just, it's a cute little poster. It's fun. It continues the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, seeing that the special presentation is still in the logo is very interesting.
Yeah, I think it's all partly leaning into that, like, 30s, 40s monster movie vibe.
Yeah, true.
because they were like a very big thing. A lot of them are on Peacock since they're owned by Universal, and I highly recommend if you haven't seen them and ever just want to watch like some really ridiculous horror movies. I highly
People in
recommend
the
them.
past were pussies.
Well, it's also what they could do with
that's fair.
film. And they weren't so used to talking in films that they could do things like A Quiet Place where it was like huge that nobody really spoke in that movie. Like they hadn't been around long enough. Like I can't be mad at them.
Right.
But, So yes, after that, we got Don Cheadle on stage to talk about Secret Invasions and Armor Wars and reveal our first trailer for Secret Invasions starring Samuel L. Jackson coming to Disney Plus in 2023.
I love Don Cheadle.
I know you do.
Yeah. All right.
And I've avoided this trailer all day, so I'm very excited.
Same.
Why was the head so tiny?
For years, you've been avoiding Earth. But I have called for your help plenty of other times, and you've been pretty content to let those calls go straight to voicemail.
Yeah, well, this is different.
Okay.
How much do you know about your security detail?
What do you mean, how much do I know about him?
Fury, we gotta be very careful now.
Oh.
You're in no shape for this fight that lies before us.
This is just the beginning.
This is my war alone. And I'm the last person standing between them and what they really want. And what is that?
Nice.
That trailer fucked.
Yes, it does. Hello, little miss. Yes, sorry.
No, you're
sorry, Cleo came in the room. Yeah, it looks dope as fuck. I'm really excited that we are getting like a very grizzled, like, I think the Infinity Saga may have really fucked up Nick Fury.
Which is like hard because like Nick Fury starts that saga pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was going to connect into Armor Wars this much.
It's not.
Okay, when he said something about the security detail, and then they're in that room with all the like alien weaponry, I was wondering if that was like similar to Armor Wars, being like
not that they revealed it. Just it's Armor Wars is set right after Secret Invasions, and Don Cheadle is in both, which is why Don Cheadle presented them.
Gotcha.
Because just like he's there.
I'm also like, there's a few things I'm okay with, like the audience not necessarily knowing a story behind something or like what someone's been doing every second between movies A and B. Like, I'm okay with leaving some stuff up to interpretation or just as like a bigger thing. I do feel like with this, I don't necessarily need to know every detail as to what he was doing. I just want a timeline as to when he got off Earth and when he got back. Like, because as like the big reveal in Far From Home
is when he gets back.
Yeah, so like I guess I just need to know like when he first left, because that was like the big reveal in Far From Home was like Fury was a Skrull the whole time.
I think what they're building into is that he left Earth like after Tony's funeral and has not come back until now. Because we get Maria saying, I've been calling you and you've been perfectly fine to let all of those.
But I feel like Maria was with him at one point because in Far From Home, she was also a Skrull.
That doesn't mean she was out in space with him, and we've heard from her since then.
True.
Because she's like him now. She has his job now.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited for. I'm really excited that she is staying.
Oh yeah.
We get Olivia Colman in this, and she's phenomenal. We're getting in Khaleesi herself, Amelia Clark. Also, really quick, Jordan. This will mean this is a Bridgerton reference, so this will mean nothing to you. But from what I've seen on Twitter, what everybody is saying is we all thought Regine Paul was in Secret Invasions because that one shot leaked, and we thought it was Regine Paul.
You know what? I did a double take. I was trying to figure out whether
Kingsley Ben-Adir looks a lot like Regine Paul, and that
Yeah.
And I have nothing against him. I'm sure he is a delight. I just love Regine Paul, and so when they announced that, I was very excited and was bummed. But, yeah, and so we don't know a ton. Martin Freeman will be back as Everett K. Ross. We will see Talos, but we're also gonna see fucked up angry Skrulls, like the one that popped out of that shipping container, ready to kill a man.
Yeah.
So like Super Skrulls, I think is what the comics call them.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the most interesting part of this because they took a big deviation in making the Skrulls like the good guys in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people left that movie going like, oh, so I guess we're not getting a Secret Invasion storyline in the MCU. And I guess the way they're going to do it is like, this is a fringe group.
Yeah. And they did announce today that this is pulling inspiration from the 2008-2009 Brendan Michael Bendis Secret Invasion title.
Okay.
Which does talk about the Kree Skrull War, and I think they call them like the super. Yeah, it's right here. That they call themselves the Super Skrulls, and they're like a faction of super violent Skrulls that have like all these new powers and have a massive tie into the Fantastic Four. So that's all fun.
Cool.
We will also be getting Dermot Mulroney as the President of the United States. Kingsley Ben-Adir, that man there were suddenly like 14 of him, is the lead villain, and Olivia Colman will be playing an old ally of Fury's. As for Amelia Clark, Killian Scott, Christopher McDonald, and Carmen Egojo, they have all been cast, but we are not sure at what capacity their roles will come. We don't know if they're humans. We don't really know what they're doing right now. Samuel L. Jackson has said that this series will delve further into Fury's past and future, allowing him to explore something other than the badass that Nick Fury is in the Infinity Saga. Which he just looks like a murderous fisherman, and I love it.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, be your murderous little fisherman self.
I want to see them pull out the blue and white suit for Nick Fury.
Oh God, I don't want that. But yeah, so it looks sick. I'm really excited. It's gonna be 6 episodes, and they're making it sound like this is a mini series. Like this is not like a even possibility of a second series. This is a story, and that's it.
I'm down for that.
And it's scheduled to release in early 2023 and is part of Phase 5 of the MCU. I believe it is the first title of Phase 5.
No, it's Quantumania.
Okay, maybe it's Quantumania. I trust Alec.
This is the last of Phase 4.
I'm just remembering back to the image because I think they said Wakanda Forever is ending Phase 4 and then.
Oh, so I guess because Quantumania is like what, February?
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so that is pretty early in the year.
There's a chart usually on Wikipedia, and I can't find it. But yeah, we're just gonna go with that. Alec is right because I trust Alec more than I trust my own brain.
I don't know if I'd put that much trust in myself. There's a lot going on in here.
Yeah.
So Phase 5 Okay, so yeah, Ant-Man, the Wasp: Quantumania is like February 2023, and Secret Invasion is just spring 2023. So it's like they're pretty like,
Like
but
March, April.
yeah, and like on the, you know how they do like, oh, the movies are on top and the shows are on the bottom. They're like really close together. So like they're both kicking off Phase 5 in their respective mediums.
Okay, I'm looking at it officially now on my sweet Wikipedia. Here we go. Here we go. Phase 4 is going to be Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder, Wakanda Forever. Phase 5 is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Marvels, Blade, Captain America: New World Order, Thunderbolts. Phase 6 will be Fantastic Four, The Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars. For the television series, we have, for Phase 4 of the television series, it's going to be WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki Season 1, What If, Hawkeye, Moon Knight Season 1, Miss Marvel Season 1, She-Hulk, Werewolf by Night, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Phase 5 is going to be Season 2 of What If, Secret Invasion, Echo, Loki, Ironheart, Agatha Coven of Chaos, and Daredevil Born Again. I don't give a shit about What If Season 2, so yeah, Secret Invasion's first television show of Phase 5. I would also like to point out that it is, when we are recording this on September 10th, the anniversary of Josh saying that he thought Wasp wanted to fuck Peter Parker. That happened a year ago today, and I'm still mad about it.
I'm just still like double taking.
Yeah. Armor Wars, all we really got is that they're going to start filming sometime next year, and it follows Secret Invasion.
Cool.
And that's kind of it. Then we hopped into just some quick news about Loki Season 2, including that Ki Hugh Kwan will be in Loki Season 2 as a TBA employee, which is why he was there for that Harrison Ford photo. There was some exclusive footage shown at D23, but we do not have access to it. There was more, like a whole lot of Kang. We're getting lots more Kang in Loki. And we will also be getting, let me see if there's anything else. No, that was it. After this is just really funny to me that, so they showed the Loki stuff, and then Kevin Feige came on stage and went, I feel like this is important for me to say. We're not announcing anything about the Fantastic Four today. And I was like, I like that you, like, in the middle of this were like, I think everybody's waiting for the Fantastic Four, and because I would like to leave this convention center alive, I'm just gonna let them all know now.
Yeah, because there's been so many rumors like leading up to this week of like, oh, this person's been cast. Oh, this person's been cast.
Yeah.
I think that they don't want to reveal casting. I think they want, because I feel like they can't reveal the Fantastic Four without revealing Doom, and I think they want to reveal Doom in Black Panther.
Yeah. But the next thing we did hop into was that Echo has officially wrapped filming. And the only Fantastic Four news that we did get was that Matt Shakeman, who directed all of WandaVision, will be directing the Fantastic Four movie. But yeah, Echo, we will be getting my delightful sweet girl Maya. We will also be getting Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, the scary Kingpin that has the eye patch bandage thing on his eye, and that Kingpin fucking murks people like with his bare hands, and so I'm scared. And yeah, so he's all excited to come back in Echo, and then we got our next big surprise, which was he welcomed Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock onto the stage. Of course, earlier this week we did get a quick little look at Matt.
I haven't watched it.
Well, I'm gonna spoil a little bit of it because they showed exclusive footage of him and She-Hulk in it, and in it they almost kiss. And I think it's funny that this is where this is going. I want them to date. I didn't know I wanted that before now. I would like them to date.
Yeah,
because
I deafened myself for most of that, so I didn't really hear anything.
Why would you deafen yourself?
I want to just watch the She-Hulk episode next week.
It's not next week. That's
well,
not
when it happens,
coming
when
out.
it happens. Like I don't know. I don't want to see that clip. I'm in for the ride.
Okay, well, I'm about to read a whole paragraph about this. So you either have to deafen or like not be a bitch.
Okay, I won't be a bitch.
Like, so Daredevil's going to start filming next year. and it will have 18 episodes. And Charlie Cox went on a little bit of a monologue about how, like, don't worry, it's not, they needed that amount of time. I'm really hoping that's getting split up and that it's not going to be, what is that, 4 months of Daredevil?
Yeah.
Like, that has to be a season part 1 and 2.
Yeah, I
Or
would
really
agree.
short episodes. But that's like
18 weeks of Daredevil, 17 if they do a 2-episode premiere. That's so much. That's so long.
yeah, but it's been so long since we last had him.
Yeah, but Disney doesn't give a fuck about that. They don't care.
We have to make up time since October 2018.
They care about being able to release other things and it survive.
Fun fact: 10 out of those 8 episodes are just explaining whether or not the Netflix show is canon.
Yeah. But yeah,
We
so
still
they
don't know
showed-
what to tell Victoria.
Nope. Still don't know. So yeah, they showed a quick little shot of Daredevil in She-Hulk where they debate the difference between henchmen and goons. Matt counts the goon's heartbeat and then does a whole thing about listening to her heartbeat, and they almost kiss. And I'm very excited. I just want them to kiss. I want them to fuck. The second she looked at the camera and went, "He's really doing it for me," I was like, yes! I don't give a shit what we do here. Like, I love this.
Let the lawyers fuck.
Let the lawyers fuck. I want it. Yes, so the next thing we got was updates on Captain America New World Order. Really just some casting updates. We found out that I'm going to need you guys to explain this to me because this came out and everybody was losing their minds and I have no idea what it means. Tim Blake Nelson will return as the leader for Captain America New World Order as the main villain. I don't know who that is. What is that?
I know you don't like it. Have you? But you've seen the Incredible Hulk, right?
No.
Okay. Remember the like camp council?
Remember, I literally just
no.
went,
No. So
I
I'm not.
remember.
So I'm saying something else. Remember the camp counselor from Holes, not the scary one, like the little bitch boy that always has the hat and
the cowboy
sunscreen eyes. Kinda.
that she smacks with the fucking...
No. He's the scary one.
poison?
I'm talking about like the bitchy little white boy.
Oh, the one who wants to be their friend?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
So he is in the Incredible Hulk as somebody that like Bruce goes to, I think, try to do something with his blood to cure him. It doesn't work.
To try to get rid of the Hulk, basically.
Yes, and basically the last we see him, he fell over, his head is bleeding, and vial of Bruce's blood broke and is like mixing with his blood.
Oh, so that's why he has a massive head.
Yep.
Yes.
And looks like Sinestro.
But that's why in the comics, he's literally known as the leader. Because he's just like insanely smart.
That's who Brett was talking about on She-Hulk like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Who then they were guessing who when the
who might have hired the wrecking crew.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll be in it as the main villain. Carl Lumbly will return as Isaiah Bradley.
Cool.
Julius Onaya describes Captain America New World Order as a paranoid thriller. I don't know what that means, but paranoid thriller.
Okay.
Danny Ramirez will return as the Falcon in Captain America New World Order, and Shira Haas has been cast as Israeli heroine Sabra in Captain America New World Order. If it's not actually pronounced Sabra, I apologize, but that's how it's spelled, and I can't imagine how it's pronounced Sabra. I feel like that has to be Sabra.
She's named after the hummus brand?
Is that
Sorry.
that bad because
Sorry,
she's Israeli?
Hummus. If you didn't understand what I said.
No, I understood. I heard you.
No, I'm making a joke.
Okay. Yeah, and then we got, and this is, I finally have a visual again, our first look at what we've all known was coming for like fucking months at this point. Marvel's Thunderbolts. It will be
Shame
a
Brett
team
isn't
of
here.
Yelena. What?
So it's a shame Brett is not here.
It's a shame the Red Hulk can't be there.
Yeah, well. Yelena, Red Guardian, Bucky, Ghost, Taskmaster, Valentina, and U.S. agents will be the MCU's Thunderbolt team. The movie will come out sometime in July 2023. I'm very excited. David Harbour looks hilarious. He brings me much joy. And
Ghost is an
for
interesting addition to this team.
Bucky being there confused me a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's there.
Is he supposed to be the moral compass of the group?
I don't know. Because he hates at least one person in this room.
He already knows one person and he hates him. I feel like he's gonna get very, very annoyed with the Red Guardian.
I mean, how could you not?
I also don't like. I also think he's gonna look at like Ghost and Taskmaster and be like, I don't know how to talk to y'all. So he's just gonna like hang with.
Just straight up, it's just gonna be like, I don't know how to speak to you.
Well, like Ghost is like a person. He might be able to talk to her. He's gonna look at Taskmaster and be like, good job.
I feel like he's gonna look at Taskmaster and be like, "Oh, you were brainwashed? Same. I lost an arm." Like,
see, I really hope this movie like redeems Taskmaster for me, because Taskmaster to me felt like a waste in Black Widow. I just felt like the character was not like utilized.
For the entire point of the movie. Yeah, she's just
I have to make it clear that I don't think Taskmaster is bad because they switched the fact that it's a female now or anything. I know.
It's just her character in the movie. She is just an allegory for like everything that is wrong with the Red Room. Like, she's literally just a walking like plot device, which is fine. Like, characters are like that all the time. It's just now we get to see her. Like, the last thing Natasha said to her was go like basically be your own person, and now we get to see her however many years later, 5 years later, learning to be possibly more than 5 years later, learning to be her own person. How did she learn how to be her own person, and like what's she been up to? Like,
and I hope that they can explain like the mimic technique to skill and not just be like, oh, your dad used technology. Like,
I doubt it.
Yeah,
because even in the comics, it's not skill.
Yeah, the comics goes back and forth with it.
The comics, it's mostly serum. That like. It's that where people like to be like, photographic memory is a thing where you can look at somebody and automatically replicate their movements, and that's photographic memory. And it's like, not really.
No.
That is a thing that you can have, but it's very rare, and that's not really how it works.
And people on Twitter are pointing out that like most of this group is just super soldiers.
Yeah.
Super soldiers, what are the fuck Ghost is, and Yelena.
Yeah.
Who isn't a super soldier, but has the energy.
Yeah, it's like
I like whatever those goggles on her head are.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are, but they look fun.
We have like 3 super soldiers, 2 super spies, Ghost, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only real tagline we were given for this was just because the Avengers are gone does not mean there are no more heroes. Which was an interesting take. So then we dive into a little bit of information about the Marvels. Again, I only really have is this really what I sent you for the Marvels? Did I really do that?
Yep.
I think that's the only news.
I'm so sorry.
The only news we got from the Marvels, Goose returns.
I didn't mean to include that. Okay, we're all just gonna stare at Goose for a little while.
I feel like you planned this. There's no way you didn't put the cat announcement.
No, I didn't mean to. I meant to share the logo. Like, I literally thought that what I shared was the next thing up, because I was taking all these from Discussing Films. I thought the next thing up was their tweet that was like, the Marvels is up next in the final part of the expo showing the logo. And nope, apparently I put the Goose thing.
A Freudian slip of copy and paste.
Truly. Trailer for the Marvels was shown to D23. It featured Kamala, Carol, and Monica. And the entire movie will focus on the fact that every time they use their powers, they trade places. So anytime one of the 3 of them uses their powers, they all trade places.
Yes, because that happened in the finale of Miss Marvel.
Yes. So Carol is there. Kamala is now in a space suit in the middle of space, which is where Monica was. And Monica is wherever Carol was.
That's gonna get real annoying.
Yeah, so it's basically when she didn't turn into Carol. Carol got transported to Kamala's bedroom,
Yep.
which I feel like is going to be frightening for Kamala's entire family. Because
Oh,
what
yeah.
can Carol say there? I don't know where your daughter is. I don't really know how I ended up here, but if you give me like a couple of days, I could probably figure it out. So
But
just,
now
like,
imagine this from Kamala's side. She was in her bedroom too, just floating in space.
well, according to this, it's Captain Monica Rambeau was an astronaut at the Sabre space station with Fury, and so Kamala ends up in that suit and waves at Fury, is like what we see in the trailer.
That's great.
Like the same company that bought Dunder Mifflin.
No. It's I'm assuming it's sword and saber instead of like sword and shield.
Yeah, Nintendo
I don't
would
know
have sued.
Yeah. Monica crash lands on a moon with a bunch of Kree warriors, including the mysterious villain played by Zoe Ashton, who carries a hammer-headed staff, and no one's really sure if he's like Ronan the Accuser or like what his deal is. Yeah, the film will focus as the characters keep trading places every time they use their powers and how they must team up to stop the problem. The other thing that we learned is that, yes, Goose does in fact return, and Kamala Khan apparently shrieks when she sees Goose do the tentacle thing and like eat a person. And like she sees it and freaks out. Everybody said it
In
looks
like a
super
fangirl way, or like a
no, in like a actual terror.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like if you didn't know that was a creature that existed, you look at it, it looks like a house cat. Carol is treating it like a house cat, and then all of a sudden, tentacles shoot out of its mouth and it eats a person. Like, that's overwhelming as hell. So yeah, she like freaks out when she sees it. Yeah, and that's really all we have on the Marvels, but I'm really excited. Everybody's saying it looks super fun. Goose in fact return. And that it seems very lighthearted, and a lot of people that weren't necessarily excited for it before they saw the trailer at D23 are very excited now. And I'm excited that this dapper gentleman is back. I really didn't mean to give you that line. Oh God. Yeah, and then I didn't write anything about Avatar. Well, no, I wrote Avatar 4 just started filming, so I guess it's done. Avatar 3 is already done, ? And then Stephen Lang, who plays the Marine Sully, on returning for Avatar The Way of the Water, you can never keep a good Marine down. He went to hell and regrouped, which is the cringiest thing I've ever heard a man say, and this is when I kind of tapped out. That's what happened. Dude, that's what happened, Alec. Yeah. Actually, I do have a reason for why I tapped out. That was said, Barry read on stream, and I went, I'm done.
I also don't like that he's addressing like this movie like I decided to come back to the role years later, like the way Toby would talk about coming back for No Way Home, like as an example. Dude, no, you were gonna be in the second one, and it got delayed a million fucking times.
No.
Yeah.
But it got delayed because he's building all these stupid fucking cameras. It's not like the studio was just like, we're sitting on this. It was James Cameron deciding to create a new camera.
But what I'm saying is he's speaking like, oh, I'm coming back to this role after 15 years. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Sorry. No, he dies at the end of the first Avatar movie.
Oh.
That's the whole, like, at the end of the first Avatar movie, we are not sure that he is living.
Okay. I also just want to clarify something for the people watching. I've seen Avatar. This tells you how much that movie has stuck with me, and I think the general audience.
Yeah, so
I mean, they have
Jake's human body.
Come on.
Yeah. Jake's human body is exposed to Pandora's poisonous atmosphere as Qutark prepares to slit Jake's throat. He's killed by somebody who saves Jake, seeing his human form for the first time, and then he's permanently transferred into a tree. And now he's back in a blue body, and his daughter is somehow Sigourney Weaver. Okay. Which I don't understand, because Sigourney Weaver is also in that movie, and her character also dies, and I don't understand why they were like, so now we're going to bring Sigourney Weaver back, and she's going to play one of Sully's children.
Yeah, isn't she also older than Sully? Or are they supposed to be around the same age?
I have no idea, to be honest with you, and I don't know how old Stephen Lang is, and to be honest with you, Sigourney Weaver has aged like a fine wine, so I don't really know how old she is either.
She was also in Holes.
She was in Hulk, you said?
Holes.
Oh, yeah, she is. Sorry. Yes, Samuel Worthington is 46, and Sigourney Weaver is not 46.
Yep.
I don't know how old she is, but
I thought you said it was Stephen Lang.
that was the director. I misspoke.
Oh.
Sam, Steven, they're the same person. It's literally, I really got stuck on, he's a good Marine, you can't keep him down, he went to hell and regrouped. And like nothing else that was said made any sense to me after that, because I really just like kind of, Sigourney Weaver is 72 years old, fucking good for her.
Yo, if she's 72, I'm 72, you know what I'm saying?
She's, stunning. Sorry. Sorry that Drew and I are just sitting here thirsting over Sigourney Weaver. But yeah, and then they paused the entire expo, even though they were already running 30 minutes late, to pass out 3D glasses to show a scene from Avatar: The Way of Water.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's how it is. And it's just like, sick. So the last two things we have is, at the end of the day today, they did do a quick look at some of the shows coming to Disney Plus, including Percy Jackson. We have a trailer, I think. Oh my god, shut up. We also got a trailer for National Treasure Edge of History. How did this pass me by?
A what?
A
Is it a
trailer,
trailer,
for
or is
National
that-
Treasure Edge of History.
I know that little
I'm looking at
teaser,
it.
the behind the scenes teaser came out a few
Want
months
to send me a
ago.
link and we can pull it up too?
No,
after?
this is let me find the YouTube link. How did it completely
All right, while you do that,
just
we're
blow me
gonna
by?
watch this Percy Jackson trailer.
Look, I didn't want to be a half-blood. Being a half-blood is dangerous. It's scary. Most of the time, it gets you killed. If you think you might be one of us, my advice is turn away while you still can. Believe whatever lie your mom or dad told you about your birth. Try to live a normal life. Because once you know what you are, they'll sense it too. And they'll come for you. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay, I'm excited. That looked cute. My sweet boy. If anyone is mean to these children ever, I will beat the shit out of you. I don't want to see any racist shit about Annabelle being black. I don't want to see any of this shit. They're children. Leave them alone. I sent it to you privately, Alec.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Like, don't
On
fucking make
Discord?
fun of actors in general.
What?
On Discord?
Let
Did I not
alone
hit send? Oh my god, I didn't hit send. I
Okay.
really am just not doing well today.
So yeah, I'll piggyback off LeighErin while you guys get this link. Yeah, don't
got
fucking make fun of children. But this, I've just never read the Percy Jackson books. I'm not going to read the Percy Jackson books. I'm happy for this fan base.
I'm so excited. And yeah, we have a fucking National Treasure trailer that I didn't know we had.
Yep. All right.
I'm so excited. Oh, this is great.
LeighErin actually gets to react to something today.
Well, I hadn't seen Percy Jackson either, and I'm very excited about that. My sweet man, my sweet boy.
This holds a clue to a treasure of utmost importance. I thought about destroying it 1,000,000 times.
Look at these symbols.
In order to prevent it falling into the wrong hands.
The daughters of the plumed serpent were here.
So we're talking like an honest-to-God treasure map.
Yeah.
Yes. Me, honestly,
It was my
me.
dad's. He died when I was a baby.
What is it? That's the symbol on your necklace.
I know.
What if I told you everything you know about your dad is a lie?
That's the FBI agent.
It's to an important treasure.
I knew I recognized his voice.
I know it is.
Oh, Sadusky?
This is cooler than any room on any
That's dope.
I've ever seen. Ben Franklin glasses?
Me.
Oh my god.
I want that relic.
Everything I thought I knew about my dad, my whole family for that matter, is a crazy riddle that can only be solved by finding this treasure.
Trust no one.
December? Oh, this year?
Yeah, December.
Yes. Yes.
That was Riley. I just like
Yep.
completely distracted by the date that I didn't realize that was Riley. I'm so
What's your
excited.
clue? I would love to help out.
My boy. Yeah, that is a
This
Lyndon
year.
Smith
Awesome.
reprising his role as FBI Agent Ross. I'm so excited.
This trailer just made me so mad that the Uncharted movie wasn't good.
It was
the show is gonna be
enjoyable.
phenomenal.
But like the thing with the ring and the necklace and the symbol, this is great. This is gonna fill that itch for me.
Yep.
This is a gift to me. Okay, but now we know that so that you can get to know who FBI agent Peter Sandusky is, you need to watch the first new movies.
I've seen the first one like in passing, like in school trips and stuff like that. I have to sit down and watch them as an adult.
They're good.
They were
Well,
really
the first
good.
one's good. First one's good.
Yeah.
We did 2 podcasts recently. We were watching them.
Yeah.
First one holds up. Second one,
I think what's really funny is they showed us, well, not they, because people were able to bring their own DVDs. But the bus I was on when my school went to Washington, D.C. played National Treasure on the way there.
Nice.
That's how you do it. All right, and the final trailer we have to show is the first trailer for Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, an animated series premiering February 10th, 2023.
Devil Dinosaur was my nickname in college.
Can't talk right now. Whoa. Hold on. Can we just start over? Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, Pops. Hi, Mimi. Sorry, late for school. Lunella Lafayette. Really digging the crazy genius vibe. I mean, I am the smartest 13-year-old. And now, I have a dinosaur. Say cheese pizza. Now we got super.
It's like Danny Phantom.
It
Almost.
does. And I was about to say, this seems like a really cute like way for like 7, 8, 9-year-olds to have like Marvel content that's for them.
Okay, yeah, so like you guys are saying it before me. This, and I say this with the high, like in the best way possible, gives the vibes off of like the action-y superhero cartoons we would have watched as kids. Like,
yeah. Like, because it also has reminded me a lot of My Life as a Teenage Robot.
Yeah, I'm also
Yes.
like, I'm getting like American Dragon, Jake Long vibes as well.
Yeah.
And I think that this is something I'm surprised Disney took so long to realize they can do now that they own Marvel is they can use Marvel's design philosophy and not just their IP to make original stuff like this.
Mom always says, one girl can make a difference. Especially when that girl is you.
And like this just looks like it reminds me of DC Superhero Girls, which is their like they're like young kids geared superhero show. That's a really, really good show. Like not for like adults, but like
You know what this actually, I think the best comparison I feel like I can make is Static Shock. Because Static Shock, if you just look that on the surface level, you think it's like yes, LeighErin.
Sorry, really quick. It's also very important to me that you know Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is not something they made up for this. This is a Marvel IP that's existed for years.
It is.
Oh,
yes.
Cool. Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's not well known, but it's a Marvel IP that's existed for a very long time.
But yeah, I think this is clearly going to become the like definitive version of this, of these characters. But okay, I guess this kind of, well, I feel like again, it's going to be the most like Static Shock, where on the surface you'd think Static Shock is like a very original superhero show on Cartoon Network, like the way Nick had Danny Phantom. But Static Shock is actually in the DC canon, and in later episodes, like teams up with Batman and then the Justice League. So like they can make this a solo show, and then at some point bring in like their version of the Avengers, and
yeah,
that's all fun and games.
But yeah, because the only reason I know she's real is at one point they heavily imply that she's smarter than Bruce, Tony, and Dr. Doom. Because she's like she's in 4th grade. Like that's like she's young doing all this kind of stuff.
I thought she said she was 13.
Did this say she was 13?
I
In the
think
comic,
so.
she's in fourth grade, but they may have aged her up, and that makes sense.
Yeah,
But yeah, and she's supposed to be campy and fun, so like.
So they probably aged her up just so that way it's actually a little bit more believable that she could like go out on her own at least.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is all of the announcements we've had from D23. There was also some shit about the Santa Claus, but like, it does not look great. It doesn't look great. I am concerned. Tim Allen's beard is really scary looking. It looks like it's made out of plastic.
Oh,
yes. Lunella is a 9-year-old girl who is described as the smartest character in the existing Marvel universe. Okay, so maybe it's like she's obviously at 9, like, yes, she's the smartest, but she can't do enough yet. So yeah, it makes sense they're aging her up to 13, and she's only going to get smarter.
But yeah. All right, so let us know what you think of all of our D23 announcements. And like I said, when Discussing Films does publish their detailed exclusive footage where they break down everything that you were able to see if you were in the room, I will retweet it to our shared screens account so that you can take a look at it. Other than that, we will of course be covering all exciting news. We've already covered the Ubisoft Forward, which you can already go check out on our YouTube, and the Marvel Disney Game Showcase that was on September 9th. And that is already also up on our YouTube. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And when all this content comes out, we'll have all sorts of reactions. We're already reacting to She-Hulk. Yeah, other than that, have a good night. I'm excited. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.